Do you plan to start driving for Uber? Do you want to learn about the difference between using a sole proprietorship versus an LLC for your Uber business? In today's video, I am going to talk to you about the difference between using a sole proprietorship versus an LLC as an Uber driver. Hi, my name is Andrew. I'm the managing attorney here at Molai Law, where we help entrepreneurs just like you start your businesses without having to deal with the complicated legal forms. Our done-for-you service is backed by over 2,700 plus 5-star Google reviews, and we can help you start your business too. The purpose of these videos are to provide you with as much clarity and guidance in the beginning stages of starting a business. So if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, as well as a bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. Now, before I begin, the information I am going to talk about now is intended to be general information, and it's always advised that you speak with a professional. Now, before I start talking about the main purpose of today's video, which is the difference between using a sole proprietorship versus an LLC as an Uber driver, allow me to provide you with a little bit more context. When signing up to become an Uber driver, you enter into a Uber contract with Uber. In that contract, you have to select the type of business entity that you want to use. The two main options that Uber drivers use and select are going to be the sole proprietorship and the LLC. The sole proprietorship is a default option, which means if you don't have an LLC, if you don't have a corporation, if you don't have another business entity, then by default, the business entity that you will then select is going to be the sole proprietorship when entering into that Uber contract agreement. It's going to be the sole proprietorship and the LLC that a majority of Uber drivers select when signing that Uber driver agreement. And so with that background context out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the main purpose of today's video, which is the difference between using a sole proprietorship versus an LLC as an Uber driver. When entering into the contract to become an Uber driver, the default business entity is going to be the sole proprietorship. Now, if you're not familiar with what a sole proprietorship is a business entity. It's the simplest to form because all you need is a social security number. You don't have to file any company documents and you don't have to pay any filing fees. However, there are risks involved with a sole proprietorship. Allow me to explain. When using a sole proprietorship as an Uber driver, a sole proprietorship means that you do not have personal liability protection. The way a sole proprietorship works is you use your SSN to apply for an EIN number. Everything is connected to you. You're your own business entity, which means that you're personally connected to anything that occurs while on the job, while driving for Uber. And again, this occurs if you use a sole proprietorship as an Uber driver. So to finalize my point regarding using a sole proprietorship as an Uber driver, because a sole proprietorship does not offer personal liability protection, this puts your personal assets at risk. Personal assets that include your personal bank account, your personal home, your personal car, etc. Now, if you want to learn more about sole proprietorship, make sure you go ahead and check out our other videos in our channel. With a sole proprietorship option out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the LLC option, the second option. While a sole proprietorship does not provide personal liability protection, an LLC does. An LLC, in fact, provides personal liability protection. And that is the major reason why we're seeing a lot of Uber drivers starting to form LLCs to benefit from that personal liability protection. You're on the road for many hours as an Uber driver and you're exposed to many risks. Make sure you protect yourself. An LLC does require additional steps. You would have to file company documents with the Secretary of State. You would have to apply for an EIN number. You would have to open a business bank account. An LLC is the easiest, most convenient business entity to operate and manage. LLCs have the least requirements. LLCs don't require you to have a president, vice president, treasurer, secretary. And finally, LLCs provide personal liability protection, which means in the event anything were to occur while you were driving as an Uber driver, if anything were to occur on the road, then you would not be personally liable, assuming you did not act negligently or intentionally. You have the ability and the potential to benefit from the personal liability protection that LLCs offer. And so while a sole proprietorship is the most convenient business entity to form and to use as an Uber driver, it also exposes you to the most risks. And so if you would like to learn more about the differences about using a sole proprietorship versus a LLC as an Uber driver, make sure you speak with a professional. If you happen to enjoy this video, please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, as well as the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. It's time to invest in yourself. It's time to rise. If you would like to continue learning more about LLCs, businesses, online businesses, go ahead and watch one of these videos.